Scott Riggs now beginning to climb the banking. He took a peek to the outside, then tucks back in line. He'll ride to draft for now. Single file coming off of turn number 4. Matt Kenseth continues to backslide. In fact, he's fallen all the way out of the top 7. Nose to tail. Vickers over Scott Riggs at the moment.
You get shuffled out of that draft, you're going in one direction, and that's toward the tail end of the field. That's what's happened to Matt Kenseth at the line. Brian Vickers still the leader, but maybe not for long. That outside line beginning to wind up as they head off to turn number 1. Casey Mears had a run, but he gets shut down by Brian Vickers.
Here they come back to the corner. Vickers slides to the top side of the banking, blocking Mears. It's side by side for second. Mears up top and Riggs down low.
Scott Riggs with a strong move off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. He was dueling for third, threatened for second. Now he starts to fall back as Jimmy McMurray on the outside getting plenty of help from Ryan Newman in 4.
And now Scott Riggs is going to fall in line, smack dab in the middle. 3 wide racing. They're going to bypass him top and bottom. Kurt Busch, the first to go by on the inside. So Scott Riggs had been up there battling for the lead. Now he's battling to hang on to the top 5. Brian Vickers up front, side by side, a pair of Dodges for second.
Shuffling from second on back while Brian Vickers continues to lead. Let's check in the garage with Steve Post.
Mike Bliss here as the bright blue Best Buy Chevrolet car getting worked on by the crew. They're actually working on all 4 corners of it. Mike Bliss is standing here watching, overseeing the work on it. Mike, what happened?
It felt like we cut a tire. The right rear felt like you're right in the middle of turn 1 and 2, and I just took off.
So Mike Bliss, unfortunately, at that stage, you're just along for the ride?
Yeah, but, man, I'm telling you what, this Best Buy Chevrolet was fast. It was one of the best cars I've ever had in speedway racing. And right there, we were just going to follow Jimmy and Jeff, and we were doing it, and then it spun out.
That's Mike Bliss, very frustrated back here in the garage. Do want to report also J.J. Yaley's crew has brought the FedEx Chevrolet back in. They are changing the radiator on that as well. Robbie Gordon was in on the pit service earlier on, and they had to redo the bracing on the windshield as that had come loose. And, of course, with all the high speed here at Talladega, you don't want a windshield to come loose on one of these cars.
One of 8 cars out of the race already. Mike Bliss along with Kerry Earnhardt. J.J. Yaley is out. Also Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, and Mike Skinner out at lap 64. Up front, it is Jamie McMurray now leading the pack. They're halfway down the back straightaway.
Top 5 were single file, but now that goes away in a hurry as now only the 3 cars, top 3 are nose to tail. Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch, they're side by side for the 4th position.
Kurt Busch is down low. Ryan Newman is up top. Behind them, Greg Biffle and Scott Riggs. 2x2 racing from 4th on back. Watching Kurt Busch now draw even with Casey Mears. That's the battle for the 3rd spot. Now only 2 cars all alone up front. It's McMurray and Vickers.
A couple of cars really trying to get up there. Jeff Gordon as well.
Trouble on the tri-oval. Casey Mears goes around. The spinning, sliding through the tri-oval.
There's going to be about 15 cars involved in this one as they spin down toward turn number 1. Caution is on the speedway. It started back up there in the dog leg. 1 car hit the wall, bounced out in the middle of the field, and we've got a mess here in the front straightaway.
Wild ride by Scott Riggs, Barney, as they came across the start-finish line. It was up on its nose, spinning around, rolled over about 4 times, nearly landed on Jeff Burton's car before they climbed the banking of turn number 1. It's finally come to rest. There's some flames coming out of the front end, and immediately Talladega track safety personnel are there to check on Scott Riggs and Jeff Burton, the 2 cars that got the worst of that, an incident that started coming off of turn number 4 there, Jeff.
Well, and it actually happened more down the lines into the tri-oval. The first thing that I saw, Joe, was all pink and white, and that was Casey Mears pointed sideways on the racetrack. Again, as we've seen on several times, guys going top, guys going trying to get to the inside, but Casey Mears had thrown the block, and from there it was on.
Scott Riggs has climbed out of the car, gets a big cheer from the crowd as he is out of the machine down there. He did indeed take a very wild ride. It's put us under the yellow flag for the 4th time this afternoon. Scott Riggs, Jeff Burton, and Casey Mears, some of the cars in it. We'll follow up with more in a minute.